Greetings. This is a direct message to the sons of Belial, the commenters on the channel known as Behemoth-X. So this character has been working for years, summoning demons, cutting himself, blood sacrifices, and presently working with the Koetting demon Belial. And he talks about the character of Belial and how difficult he is to work with, but he will bless you and give you things. Originally, he would give you titles in the Goetia. So I made a comment because he brought up our old occult friend, E.A. Koetting. I interviewed E.A. Koetting years ago when I had a tarot channel. He showed up obviously high, out of his mind. Ended up blabbing on and on about some sort of transdimensional machines, that worked better unplugged. I mean, it was an embarrassment. I'm embarrassed that I had him on. I'm embarrassed that I didn't push back as an interviewer. But shortly after that, he was banned from YouTube and everywhere else. And two beautiful women in London are dead. E.A. Koetting didn't kill anyone. But his content wasn't wanted on YouTube. His books are unhinged, literal. And one of the messages is blood sacrifice satisfies demons, and you will get earthly reward by blood sacrifice. There is an irresponsibility there. Those girls are dead. And why? Well, when a madman reads your books and there's no caveat, even if there was, the more blood, the more reward. This idiot, this moron who killed those girls was trying to win the lottery. And, that little turd, Behemoth-X, said, he might have had a couple books of E.A. Koetting's. No, it was a huge influence. And the whole concept of this blood sacrifice, which Behemoth-X also partakes in himself, led to those girls' deaths. It was completely irresponsible. It is irresponsible. It's moronic. Now, let's go back to this Behemoth-X, who just won't let E.A. Koetting die, and his teachings. And he had Koetting's stupid circle, and he had E.A. Koetting, stickers on his wall. I don't know. So I'm mad at myself for not putting E.A. Koetting in his place when I had a chance. And he is a low-life scumbag. There's no question about it. And he doesn't deserve any platforms. So, Behemoth-X, check out his channel if you must. It's repetitive. If you've seen one video, you've seen them all. He's in black. He's got kind of a mask on. There's smoke and fire. And all that's different is what's behind him. A sigil, right? So I want to talk about the absolute idiocy of this man and this channel. And he's influencing these ignorant children to hurt themselves, or to pay him money to curse people, or to be taught how to curse people, or get money and manifest. There is no mercy here for this idiocy that hurts children and young people. And I'm tired of it, frankly. I've had enough. He's going on and on about Belial. Like, did he do any research into Belial? He just picked up a Goetia or the most recent revisions of it, interpretations of it. If Belial is an actual being that can bestow rewards to you here on earth for what that's worth, and there won't be a price you pay later if that were true. Read any story about sorcery and dealing with the devil. There's always the twist, and the magician never wins. Almost never. So let's look at Belial. Where did that word name come from? Who is Belial? Belial, that was a Hebrew word. And it's an ancient Hebrew word that meant worthless, lawless, without yoke. And they were talking about the sons of Belial, right? In the Bible. That's like, Belial, that's like, if I said naughty. These are the sons of naughtiness. That's all it was. Belial was like worthless. These are worthless men, bastards. Then the name started to become synonymous with demons themselves. So in the Dead Sea Scrolls, I believe, 2nd century or so, the Belial started to become a demon that could harm you. He would, tempt you under Satan. So we've gone from the word naughty to naughty being a personification. Now, were they doing this metaphorically, or did they really believe this? There's naughty, there's naughtiness, there's worthlessness. It's a word that was personified, and then this process keeps going until the New Testament, and what Belial actually becomes the devil himself, another name for Satan. Well, 600-700 years later, Christian medieval magicians took this name and wrote spells around it using Christian blessings or whatever to control this demon that supposedly existed. Now, imagine it, hey, I'm summoning naughtiness now. I'm summoning naughty pants. That's what there is no Belial. That's just a word for, it's a negative word about people. And it got personified over the years and now it's a king of hell that can bestow, it's utter garbage. So this Behemoth-X does not have the IQ, doesn't have the education to look into and investigate the history of these words, the origins. He has maybe, let's say he does have the IQ to do that. He doesn't have an interest to do it. Why? He thinks that because his channel is big, that he's doing something successful. He's only hurting people and himself. There's nothing there. It is a complete fantasy. This man that these people are, he's got, 40,000 subscribers, something like that. Maybe more, I don't know. I forget. But it's a lot more than this channel. What he was trained in and good at, the only thing he could do, drug pig that he was, worthless. He is a son of Belial. He's worthless. He's got nothing to offer. What he was able to do was go to stupid heavy metal shows with their cliches and ridiculous garbage and make videos, I guess. So he understands some rudimentary, heavy metal level concert footage, dramatic lighting. Wow. So every video, a big flame, lights, and then, horrible heavy metal music. It's such a cliche. What a buffoon. Belial, my ass. It's all about style, that heavy metal. He's, pushing 60 or so. All in black with his stupid tribal. He is a spectacle. It is a spectacle. But if you actually dig into it, there's nothing there. There is no Belial. There is no being named Belial. If I trace back, people didn't worship Belial. They didn't call on him. It just meant worthless. So, Behemoth-X, who the fuck are you talking to? You're raising people and having, I raised Mr. Naughty Pants. I raised naughtiness. I raised wickedness. And he's mean. But if you cut yourself, you might get gifts here on earth. Are you joking? The level of stupidity and ignorance is beyond me. This fool looked at, he's got videos where, the dust motes from cameras can capture light and create little circles. And it's been discredited a million times. They're not orbs. They're not spirits floating around you. Those are dust motes. I think one he had a moth fly by and he said it was a spirit. So I don't know. Maybe if you are that stupid to fall, for a guy like this, you deserve the channel Behemoth-X. I interviewed E.A. Koetting. He was a clown. His stupid, idiotic, exploitative writings, I think, did inspire this idiot to kill those two women. And I wouldn't say that if there wasn't about the blood. Now, we've got upset teenagers. We've got huge suicide rates. We've got people cutting themselves, cutters. This kind of writing could trigger that. Does he give any fuck about that? Is there a caveat? Don't hurt yourself? I know where there's one. In the Bible. Those blood sacrifices, that was dismissed years ago. Centuries, millennia ago. So, you don't need a Bible to know that if you have to hurt yourself to summon something beyond yourself for earthly power, just say it out loud. How fucked up is that? That's your system? And then on top of it, you do no research on these beings at all. You don't know who they are. Now, I will grant you, some of them are mysterious, and I've heard some of them exist. I've encountered some myself, but they weren't words, like Belial, like they were names for these powers. There is something there. There are things beyond us. Now, Belial, that isn't one of them. That's a recent invention. So I think that, Behemoth-X is just talking to himself, an aspect of his own ego, or some other being pretending to be this Belial. But you tell me, Behemoth, do a video on just who Belial is. You know him so well. He's helped you so much. He's so important. You could at least do some research on him. Wouldn't you? No, I guess unless you're just completely stupid. Early Christianity, 2 Corinthians 6:15, uses the name Belial as a stand-in for Satan, fully personifying it. That's where the theological shift happens. Worthless becomes wicked. Then in the medieval period, especially through grimoires like the Lesser Key of Solomon, 17th century, Belial is suddenly a powerful demon, a king of hell, riding a chariot with many minions, requiring sacrifices and rituals. This is pure invention, an overlay of Christian theology onto fragments of ancient Hebrew poetry. So here's the real kicker. You've got all this from the Bible, and it's downstream fan fiction. You're not outside Christianity, Behemoth-X and his followers, you sons of Belial, you worthless people. You're just doing heretical Christianity. You are in that Christian paradigm. That's the real punchline. You've memorized obscure names from a 17th century Christian demonology manual. Wear your black robes and you call it liberation. You're not escaping the church. You're reenacting it. You're chasing a Christian ghost story. You're playing around in the Christian wreckage. Now, the reason I'm making this video is I put this in a comment to stir up some debate, to get, maybe a comment from Behemoth-X, who had said this killer just had a couple books by E.A. Koetting. He's innocent. Our little drugged out, abusive bastard E.A. Koetting. He's such a nice guy. Brave, black, powerful magician that he is, he deleted my message. So I'm just going to respond on my channel, which I've done. This isn't about, I couldn't care less about views or this or that, but if this can help one person get away from that idiocy, this is worth it. And Behemoth-X can kiss my ass for sure from here on forever. He is a weakling. He's a weak man with no power, not over me. And any power he does have is just in some theatrics on YouTube to get the money from suckers. There is no Belial. What is your theory? Why would he help you if he did exist? It's buffoonery. It's absolute garbage. So I had enough, and I'm moving. I personally am against the occult at this point. It's not helpful. Talk about worthless. I gotta say, I don't think, I think it's wrong, the wrong path. It leads nowhere. It's just another thing. It's not even edgy or radical. Christianity, the way radical theology, my form of Christianity that I follow is so far beyond the occult, Buddhism. It is extreme and terrifying until you get through it. And it has changed everything for me. I have a strength now I never had before after going through the void and facing it, dealing with it, just encountering it. So look at my other videos on negative God and such, just to get an idea of what I'm talking about. Simone Weil, that's Weil, look her up. Jack Caputo, his theology, the weakness of God. See, all this crap about demons and their power, and even Nicholas Schreck, who I've interviewed and I've worked with on some spiritual things for myself a month ago or so. He's like, these are powerful gods and they can do stuff. I agree. They're powerful beings. I don't even know, if we want to call them, my idea of God is completely different than those beings. But that's just what people do. They're just bigger versions of people, of kings, of, basically tough guys, right? I can throw the thunderbolt down. Okay. You're powerful. It's the same playbook humans do. I'm powerful. I will throw the nuke down. That's a god. Caputo says God is weak. God gets things done through weakness. Isn't that more impressive? Isn't that anti-human in a way? That's revolutionary to me. So God doesn't force us with thunderbolts, right? Caputo says God doesn't exist. He insists. God is an event. I think when we're kind to the stranger, when we have communion with each other, when we sit and eat, give food to the poor, love. When there is love, I think God comes into existence as that event of love. And that's weak. That's not strength. That's gentleness. That's weakness. And that's what wins. That's what's big. And in the long run, these tiny little moments of, these tiny little events of love build up and build up, hopefully. Now, God had to desert us. He had to die. He had to leave, creating that void. And we're like, oh, there's nothing here. Father, why have you forsaken me? You've left me with these sons of Belial. So God is so encompassing and so connected to everything. We wouldn't be able to exist as free beings if he were here. He had to go and take a risk and trust that we could take care of this world and turn it into something good. Not just escape like Buddhists want to do. Everything here is worthless. All those emotions, those connections, those setbacks, those triumphs, that's all worthless. And then the selfishness of the Behemoth-X is, I want this, and I will spill blood to get what I want. Here and now. What if everybody did that? It's like a circular firing squad. That is wisdom. You want people cursing you to get your stuff so they've got it through some kind of demonic force? You want everyone to do that. That's the way. Or you just some kind of sneak, some kind of creep, really. A creep and a cretin. No, that's not the answer, kids. We know that. That's not right. Instead of worrying about getting things now, using powers to get power, that's what everybody does. I'm not interested in what everybody does. I'm interested in the real. The world beyond our ability to understand. The world beyond our ability to put into language. The world of signs. Beyond that is the real, and it's terrifying and disruptive, and we don't have words for it. And I want people to encounter the real, not ego fantasies from a former druggie who advocates a fraudster who has inspired a murderer. Where are we with this? Where are you? I'm speaking to you. You fools who make comments. You're awesome, dude. Keep it up. You are so stupid. Truly stupid. If you think that there's anything that's going to come from that channel or Behemoth-X or anything like that. He's a fraud. He's a liar. And his theology or whatever it is just doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. There is no archaeological or historical aspect to this Belial. Now, if he's saying, hey, my energy's focused on this name. I'm sort of creating this shadowy being. It's a mirror image of some of my darker aspects. He's not articulate enough to even say that, which I just made up, which sounds better than anything he ever said, because he's a moron, an uneducated fool. YouTube is visual. YouTube is dumbed down for basically 9-year-olds. And he thinks he's manifesting and he's so successful. He's not. In the long run, when you're a liar and a fraudster and self-deluded, you lose. You are, what's the word? Worthless.